this one as well. So let me have a look at Stephen Draper, Martin Morris, Kurt Powell, Craig Macon, Adam Rayner, Corey Smith, Luke Blackwood were all missing from the grid here.
Okay, not unusual, of course, on a Sunday afternoon last race of the class of the weekend. I hear the revs rise in the background there, mate.
Yep, that's it. There we are, away racing now, and this will be an 8-lap race there, so results after 4 and 8 laps, and it's going to be Morgan Creasy who initially goes into Coppy's first there, but it looked to me like Scott Stone was thinking about having to switch back and going up the inside for Charlie's too. I'm not quite sure if he was close enough to make it work.
He certainly did, mate, because it's going to be Scott Stone who's going to be leading past me. Place. Then we've got Pete Baker, those ever familiar white sleeves on his Crow Tree leathers, doing the business once again. Couldn't quite see who that was in fifth as they head up towards Park for the first time. But yeah, you're right, Scott Stone did the perfect cut back there, and obviously Morgan's still getting the grips with this Honda. I think he got down into 135s or something like that in the earlier race. So, well, not the earlier race, the one before that actually, because this is the technically the third race of the day for these guys, and that is Scott Stone leading down the hill and starting to break away at the front just a little bit. Few people trying to pull some moves, all three abreast into Mansfield. That ain't going to go. We'll wait and see how that shuffles itself out as the leaders come out of the chicane, make their way under the bridge, back up towards you to the bottom of the mountain there, Bradley.
Here, Scott Stone, Morgan Creasy, Raphael Kissick and Pete Baker looking to make the break here. Dan Mercer will be the first of the retros then on by E13, Tommy Cadwell, Aaron Collins, Jamie Thomas up next, and they're all filtering the way through now, and of course Morgan Creasy and Tyler Donovan have been having some great races throughout the course of the weekend, but of course Tyler Donovan is out there on his Ultra machine, which obviously is now the Retro 1000 machine, but Morgan Creasy is on a full-blown Honda Fireblade of 2023 and is in the MRO Clubman's actually. So Scott Stone leads the way, Morgan Creasy, Raphael Kissick and Pete Baker. As you mentioned there, the distinctive colours of Pete Baker, the dark blue leathers with the white sleeves there. Of course, Crow Tree leathers are, were quite local here, weren't they? They were based in Louth.
Yeah, no, very much one of the local success stories, very much associated with Cadwell Park, of course. Unfortunately, they closed the doors a few years ago, making some fantastic bespoke leathers, and the quality of those things, I don't know how many of those Pete Baker's gone through, but there's definitely not his original leathers, should we say. However, they do take a landing very well indeed. So no change in the order as they came past me there, and looking up to the top of the circuit, it looks like the front two are just starting to pull away just a little bit, and so that means Stone from Creasy there and working their way down to Mansfield once again. Kissick is still there in third. He's got Pete Baker for close company, but obviously Pete is I know it's a very cliche thing, but he knows what he's doing at the end of the day. He knows exactly where he is in the championship. He knows what he's got to do well in the championship. He knows he can't win it. Former Milano Trophy winner though, but he's far too far behind Josh Wainwright to worry about catching him. But he wants to extend the gap between himself and the absent David Krabiecki, because David's not here. He doesn't need to worry too much about Raphael Kisk, because Raphael's not in the championship at all, so he loses a couple of points to him. It's annoying, but it's not the end of the world, and the same goes for Scott Stone as well. So, and also Morgan Creasy, so actually Pete Baker will be the one to benefit the most, because he has the most people around him who he needs to beat. None of these guys are the ones he needs to beat, so that's definitely good news for him. So any points he gets is most definitely a bonus, and he's looking good to end his final 30-year career with a strong podium in what is always a very competitive class, as I think we're going to see mounting a challenge there from Morgan Creasy. I don't think he's been biding his time. I think he's just been finding his feet. And of course, this is technically the last lap they're on, is it? No, we're lap two. Sorry, yeah. So still got one more to go. Then it'll be the last lap. And here we go, round Chris Curve, then into the gooseneck. That is still Scott Stone leading. But what was the gap over the line, mate?
Is that between Stone and Creasy?
Stone and Creasy is the one, yeah.
0.475, so less than half a second.
Okay, it's about 0.47 bike links as they go under the brakes for Mansfield. Then down to about 0.3 as we go into the chicane there. So I wonder if we're going to see a move at some point from Morgan. Obviously Morgan doesn't actually know the meaning of the word second, actually. I think he's one of those guys who's just going to go for it regardless. He's put into the racing, is there? He's got nothing to lose at the end of the day. He's not like he's going for a championship. So Pete Baker just wants to pick up a good solid set of points. In 13 points, he'll be quite... In fact, no, it won't be 13 points, because that's a That's a pair of Clubmans ahead of him, so actually Pete Baker's looking to pick up 20 points.
That's right, he's second in class.
Yeah.
You mentioned that Pete Baker's the kind of person who thinks with his head more than Creasy thinks with his wrist.
Yeah, absolutely. And you can see him pushing his rival very hard as they make their way up there.
He's right on his tail as they go into Charlie's one there. You'll see how close they are when they come into your view.
That's about a 2-3 bike length lead at the best as they come down out of Charlie's. You don't play the slipstream game for too long in these big 1000cc machines, but that little bit of an advantage he's got, he's going to try and turn that into a passing move surely at the end of the park straight there. He's forced his rival out to the wide a bit. Not such a good place to break either there on the width, as we found out this morning, didn't we, in a little Corsa. All of a sudden you got the whoopty-doops there working overtime, so it's not good news. I think it is still going to be Stone leading into the gooseneck, but here comes Creasy. Is he going to have a look into Mansfield? No, he's not feeling quite that brave. But obviously there's only one lap that Morgan wants to actually lead on. He doesn't care about getting 25 points for leading at the end of 4 laps, does he? He cares about getting 25 points for leading at the end of 8 laps. That's his only incentive. When he sees that hurry-up flag, that's when Stone better look to his laurels and really find that last little bit, because I certainly know Morgan will if he can, that's for sure. Disappear across the top once again. They're going to be back in your view. No, I can't say I fancy either one. I'm happy to see either of them do well. But I have to say, I think Morgan might find that last little bit. I don't know, just a very determined character, but I don't know Scott Stone at all. And clearly he knows how to ride a bike very well indeed, because otherwise he wouldn't be up there at the front arguing over a power bike lead, would he? Here we go into the very fast Coppice corner there. Knock it back a cog, just chuck it in. I'm not quite sure what you do with the thousands, but probably something very similar. Oh, that gap has closed just a little bit by about a bike length or so. Oh, Creasy is definitely haunting him. I don't know if you can hear Creasy's bike, but Creasy again, he's going to pull out. Is he going to have another look there? Is he going to go squeezing the brakes later? It's going to be still a brave move. He's still got about a bike length or so to find before he can get past his rival. So close. I'm waiting for him to come back into view at Chris Curve. No change at the front. Still a couple of bike lengths is the gap. Who else is doing what to whom, mate? There's a few other good little scraps going on down through the field, but I'm purely concentrating on this one. I'm sure some other people would like a mention.
That's right. Further down the order there, on that lap at least, there was no changes of position there. With the close battles there is the one between Aaron Collins for third in the Clubman, ahead of Tommy Cadwell by half a second. So you've got, let's have a look there, Aaron Collins, bike number 48 in the 92 Motorsport boss of Tommy Cadwell. He's there fourth in the Clubman, less than half a second behind.
Oh, he's having a good look too. He's on the green and Dayglow orangey thing, yeah, he just had a good look, and I don't think he quite pulled her off into Mansfield there, but he certainly had let his rival know he's there. They're just coming up under the bridge to award you there.
Yeah, I can see them there, and also the one behind them as well. Dan Mercer and Jamie Thomas are the two riders behind them, Keith, and that's for the win in the retros.
Okay, yeah, we do forget there's a couple of classes involved here, isn't there? So that's all good. You're right, that's a good little scrap. That was a class that David Twyford was originally going to compete in this year, as well as the mini twins, but unfortunately the plans fell apart as he lobbed the bike a couple of times quite spectacularly. Here come the leaders then, and there's an advantage this time to Stone, and he's probably got a 6 bike length gap, which is as big as we've seen for the entire race. The laps are counting down very rapidly, of course. It's an 8-lap race though, so we do still have 3 laps. It was the fastest lap that time round for Stone, so it's not a case of Creasy slowing down a bit. It's the fact that Stone's managed to find a little bit more stretch in the old throttle cable there as they work their way into the gooseneck. Watching Cadwell go past there, first time out on the 1000cc machine, of course, for Tommy. More used to seeing him in a Thunderbike Sport rookie capacity, or indeed last time he came out to play on a YPM as well, didn't he? So nothing like a bit of a ride in his life, and a big R1. Let's see what he can do into Mansfield this time. He's certainly stalking the man in front. He's got some good speed through the gooseneck, Tommy, and no, he's not quite close enough to challenge. But again, I wonder if that's one of those battles that once the old last lap flag goes out, we might see the red mist descend, because he'd love to pull one over on Aaron Collins there from Milton Keynes.
Well, I'm watching them go towards the bottom of the mountain. Creasy and Scott Stone, but not in that order. It is still Scott Stone leading the way ahead of Morgan Creasy. Morgan has a look at the inside there. He's not close enough to make a challenge there, but he really thought about it there. Keith did Morgan on that Honda Fireblade there. Rafael Kissick is already across the line, as is Pete Baker. And that is your top four there. I'm looking for this battle for the between the number 48 and the 92. That's Aaron Collins and Tommy Cadwell. And then we can also mention the battle between Dan Mercer, Jamie Thomas and Tyler Donovan, who's 8 seconds behind that battle.
Yeah, you're right, that battle for the lead is going on, and you're right, Creasy has pulled it back just a little bit, just a couple of bike lengths, maybe a tenth of a second there, but he does set the fastest lap that time round. So Morgan is definitely not giving up on this one, and I tell you what, the other thing we've got to watch out for, mate, we're coming up very rapidly on some back markers here, so this could be a title decider, as it were. We go onto the brakes into Mansfield, the first of the rookie riders, or not rookie riders, sorry, slow riders in front of him. They're going to catch him at the chicane. Who's going to punch past? No, they both punch past safely, very quickly indeed. So no danger there. You can see the other rookie just going on the other slow rider going to the bottom of the mountain there as the leaders punch their way out of the chicane. So hopefully they won't catch him at the hall bends. Hopefully that slower rider has got a little bit of speed through the hall bends there. Have a look at that Tommy and Aaron, that's right, trying to remember Aaron's first name. Keep thinking Ben Collins. No, it's not.
No, that's the stick.
Yeah, exactly. They're going on. No,
Morgan Creasy right out onto the white line there on the exit of Barn. He's lost a little bit of time there, and the last lap flag has gone out there. Sorry to cut across you there.
No, you're good.
Yeah, the last lap time there, and Morgan Creasy, well, he's really got the bit between his teeth now there, but he was on the white line on the exit of Barn there, so he's really pushing on now. But
back marker trouble again, I'm afraid, because Charlie's, it looks like, fortunately for Stone, he got past the back marker, and that has cost Creasy a couple of bike lengths. Sorry to cut across you there, buddy, but it was all happening right in front of me. So, yeah, that back marker may have had a slight influence. You did say that, unfortunately, Morgan lost a couple of bike lengths there with that little incident with the white line. So, around the back we go. He's running out of time very rapidly. He's going to have, strictly speaking, he's probably got 3 more opportunities at a good pass. He's going to come through the gooseneck. He's on the tail of his rival. Down they go. Pretty much even Stevens under braking. Maybe he's made up a bike length here. Into the chicane. This seems to be where Morgan's been very strong throughout the weekend. Does he have a look there? No, he closes it up again. Right, one more realistic chance, and that's into the bottom of the mountain there. Is he not going to do it? No.
Not close enough, not close enough, no, but going to the bottom of the mountain there. It is still Scott Stone from Morgan Creasy there, but like I said earlier, Pete Baker is the kind of guy to think with his head. Morgan Creasy in this kind of situation, I don't even think he thinks, but nonetheless, he's right on the tail end now of Scott Stone as they go into the woodland section. Go on, sorry.
Sorry, no, I'm going to say there's a change in the Cadwell Collins battle, and it's Tommy's who's just managed to find his way past, and now he's found his way past. It looks like he's opening up the gap there, so it looks like he's going to get a medal for his trouble.
Here they come then, the race leaders. It is going to be Scott Stone from Morgan Creasy there, who will take the checkered flag first and second across the line. Next up is Rafael Kissick on bike number 223. James Venture across the line there, a lap down on his number 123 Suzuki. Here comes Pete Baker on the number 65 Kawasaki ZX-10R, and take 13 points for that 4th place finish.
No, he won't, mate. He'll take 20 points.
My apologies.
No, that's all right. No problem at all. No need to apologise to Pete Baker. He's used to it. Now, Morgan and Scott congratulate each other on a great ride. They get joined by Rafael, who's very pleased with his result, no doubt. 3rd overall is definitely a prize worth keeping. Pete Baker gives everybody a wave as ever. So Pete Baker clearly happy with that, because I think he knows he's starting to consolidate that position in the championship, and after 30 years of racing, to finish 2nd in your last year on the Powerbikes, that'd be a remarkable achievement, wouldn't it, Bradley?
Yeah, absolutely. But coming across the line there, that was very close there between Tyler Donovan and Barry Mantell there. Of course, it was Barry Mantell who got the better in the end, but they are in different classes, so let's have a look then. So the overall reactive parts MRO Powerbikes, Scott Stone ahead of Pete Baker, and then Barry Mantell on the podium in the MRO